Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was not expecting such a detailed, detailed thought about this. I was just expecting to come in and say, hey, it's good.
Yeah.
Hit me up. As I say, Mari Krombu Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 23 of the Anime Protagonist podcast. And get your tear ducts ready, because on this week's episode, we are going to review the 2011 hit anime series Anohana. But before we get into any of that, I throw my hands up in the air, toss my head back, and scream, "Oh God, what's on Michael's mind?" Michael, what's on your mind?
Ah! Pain. So painful. No, actually, I'm doing good. It's nice because it's actually warm where I am now, or where we are. So like I've been kind of doing some, yeah. So I've been doing like some spring cleaning and like cleaning up the yard and trying not to have a flooded basement and the usual stuff. That
let me tell you, it is warm in the studio here at my place, guys.
My house is still calibrated for like negative temperatures, so I am sweating right now.
Yeah, I am a sweaty boy. I regret wearing long pants.
You know what's really helping with this sweating problem?
What?
The hot cup of coffee I'm drinking.
I'm at least drinking a cold beer.
I'm having a A&W root beer.
Jay,
Ooh.
I'm going to try to read what's on your mind here.
Okay.
You're thinking about how good A&W root beer is.
How'd you
now
guess?
Tell me, what's on your mind, Jay?
Wow, dude, that you got that in the first take.
Good.
No, but so lately I've been listening to a YouTube channel that does kind of like acoustic versions of Japanese songs, and there's a lot of anime songs on there, like Gurenjay from Demon Slayer, the second Demon Slayer opening, Vivid Vice from Jujutsu Kaisen, and more. And the channel's called The First Take, and it's really good. It's just like, it's just like a ton of singers will come into this like white room studio, with maybe a pianist or a guitarist or something.
A what?
A pianist, like
a
person who plays piano.
A piano player.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
A pianer.
I think I've seen this YouTube channel that you've been watching. I've seen it on TikTok, actually. That was my first exposure to these pianists.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Are they on TikTok?
I believe so. I think I get a lot of like basically anime OPs where they sing there. I think there's quite a few. Is there one with Goose House where they do on there?
I haven't seen Goose House, but maybe.
It looked familiar. I'm not entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Sawano was also there.
Oh.
That sounds up my alley.
I'll send it to. Well, I've been sending a few. There were a couple in our Discord server, and one I sent to both of you privately. The Unravel one.
Yeah. If the listeners haven't picked up yet, we all like music quite a lot.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jay. I haven't seen those. I've been too obsessed with things.
It's okay.
Oh, you've
Cole,
been obsessed with something. What have you been obsessed with, Cole?
I have been absolutely binging the manga Call of the Night.
Let's go.
What's
that? Let's
it's
go.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's so good. Cute vampire girls doing cute things and falling in love. It's nice.
Have you seen Dagashi Kashi?
No, but honestly, once I'm all caught up on this one, I think I might go back to it, because that one's always kind of been on my radar a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I just haven't got into it. But like, if it's like this manga, yeah, I'd probably like it.
This is one that they put out a teaser for, right? The anime's coming out soon.
Yeah, the anime's coming out next season, and that's what kind of got me into it. I was going through our list, because I'm a professional anime watcher, and I'm like, okay, we gotta like see what's coming out next season. Okay, there's this and this and this. Oh, and then there's this vampire show. Okay, there's a manga. Maybe I'll go and read it. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I did. It's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Quick score,
Dagashi Kashi is it's very similar. It's just more about candy than vampires.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike, what did you say?
I said quick score.
Quick score. It's not I'm not gonna like say it's like the greatest thing I've ever read, but like it's like a solid 7.5. Like it's above average for sure.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good. I've been really enjoying it, and it just kind of you just kind of want to keep reading it. And I'm almost caught up to it, and I'm kind of, when you discover a new manga and there's like 111 chapters, and you're getting to like 90, and you're like, oh god, I gotta like slow down. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm gonna get caught up, and then what? Then I gotta wait for next week.
I'm the exact opposite. I just power through to the end. I get excited when I get close to the end of things. And I'm like, oh, I can go on to the
But
next
I'm
thing.
not at the end though. That's the thing. It's not over.
Well, I also tend to stay away from things that are still running as well.
Right. Yes.
For that reason.
Yes. Yeah.
Mike, do you ever catch up on things and go like, man, I'm caught up. What do I do now?
No, I just go on to the next thing. I have so many things.
See,
There's so many things to watch.
Michael's a normal functioning human being, not like us. Not like us freaks.
I haven't. I've watched like probably 100 less anime than you guys. Because I've basically watched only long running shonen at this point.
So what you're telling me is you don't get crippling depression when something really good is caught up.
Well, spoiler alert for crippling depression when something ends, but
Speaking of
honestly, I don't.
Speaking of freaks who get crippling depression when things are done, Jay, it's time for your segment.
Oh yeah, welcome to Jay's Game Corner this week.
I'm glad you didn't leave it at. Speaking of freaks,
I should have.
yeah.
Man, we've got a jam-packed...
Go ahead, you freak.
Welcome back to Jay's Game Corner, where this week this freak will give you some gaming news that came
Absolute
from the past week.
freak on a leash.
Just freak out,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that you should edit out any prior reference to freak, and then Jay just opens it with his calling himself a freak.
Here's your favorite freak coming at you.
But yeah, sorry, Jay.
Yes. Jay, seriously, you got games to talk about.
First up on our news, Summer Games Fest and the Game Awards will play in various IMAX theaters across the US, Canada, and UK.
I'm in Canada.
You are in Canada.
I am.
Am I in Canada?
I don't know.
Are you?
I don't know. Let me look outside. No, I don't see any snow.
Okay.
Okay,
polar.
probably
Are you
not
sure?
in Canada then.
Are you sure? If I look outside, I think I do actually still see some snow.
Oh wait, no. There's somebody riding a polar bear. We're okay. Yeah, it's Canada.
We're good. We're good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So June 9th, I believe, is the date for Summer Games Fest. And
June
yeah,
9th.
you can check that out.
Is this something you will go to, Jay?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a Thursday.
Yeah, it is June 9th. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go to it, but we'll see. If any friends are like, hey, we'll go with you, then yeah, I'll go.
It's a Thursday. I would go with you, but
I mean, it's still streaming like on various streaming platforms like it did last year, so yeah. But just an additional thing.
I'm sure we'll check it out, and you'll have a lot of news from it.
Oh, I'm so excited for all the news to come from that.
So much news.
Gaming news. I think Jeff Keighley, who runs it, tweeted out, what are you most looking forward to, or what do you want the most from Summer Games Fest?
And you responded with one word: news.
True. That is what I responded with.
Gimme dat news, you said.
Gimme that news for my game corner. I'm scared. I'm sad. I'm in my corner just crying.
Don't worry, we're in your game corner with you.
Yeah, we're here now.
Thank you.
Once a week, we come and visit you in your game corner. Yeah. We say, take that dunce cap off.
Jay.
We'll sit with you.
Jay, now that I'm in your game corner, I hear there's something about a game that I played a lot as a child, Prince of Persia.
Yes.
So there's some news about that?
Yes, so the Sands of Time remake is being taken over by Ubisoft Montreal. They issued a tweet earlier this week, just kind of saying that they're taking over from Ubisoft Pune and Ubisoft Mumbai, and they're going to take all the time they need to regroup and on the scope of the game to deliver the best experience they can possibly make. I also noticed that there were that earlier stuff that had been released, like screenshots of the game, planned platforms to release it on, and things like that have been removed from the website. So I'm kind of curious if it's only going to be next-gen consoles now, and not PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh my God! Could
It's
you imagine
kind of
if they
about
finally
time,
moved? Yeah, if they finally moved on to next gen, which
I know,
isn't
right?
next gen, it's just the current gen.
Yeah.
I mean, easy enough for me to say because I have a PS5. Seriously, I should have a drop for every time I bring that up because I do bring it up every week.
You should just
It's
put,
kind of annoying.
Cole, just put in a drop. Yeah, well, you just got to brag about it, right? You got to tell your people that you're better than them.
I gotta tell the people.
Yeah.
have
Yeah, you
to
should just put in
know.
like a drop of like just like the startup sound. And then it's as soon as you're like, yeah, because I have a PS5, you just put the startup sound like play over it, and then we can move on with our lives.
Get the audio of a mic dropping.
Yeah.
I might do that. But Prince of Persia being taken over by Ubisoft Montreal. I can't wait for a Assassin's Creed clone that is very buggy.
Oh yes.
Oh
Same.
yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's still going to be like a decent game, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be okay.
I don't mind. The Assassin's Creed games are fun.
Oh, I thought you were
They're just
talking about
kinda-
Prince of Persia.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, I never played Prince of Persia.
There's really only
played-
the one that I really
I played
think
the
was good.
first one. I haven't
Yeah.
played Sands
Mhm.
of Time.
I remember a friend of mine had it on their GameCube.
That might have been me.
Oh,
No, it wasn't you. It was a different friend. I'm sorry,
Ah.
Michael. I had other friends.
you have more
Unbelievable.
friends than just us.
Now, no, but then, yes.
Yeah. It's
Back
cool.
before I was a weeb.
Oh, yeah. That
Back
makes
when
sense.
the-
That checks out.
Back when the only things I used to watch were Dragon Ball Z, and then, but like everybody did at the time. But then, in shame, I would watch Card Captors,
So you were still a weeb back at the time.
but not like an open one, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's
I-
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
You weren't
yeah.
Naruto running through the halls with me?
No, I wasn't. That was just you.
Oh yeah.
You freak.
I
You
used
absolute
to-
freak.
I used to run like Sonic through the playground, and I'd see kids point at me and be like, Naruto! And I'd be like, no, it's Sonic.
It's Sonic. It's Sonic. Can't you see me rolling, cartwheeling?
Can't you see my legs spinning faster than I can see?
Can't you see me somersaulting through the hallway?
Can't you see me talking about Embracer Group acquiring all Western Square Enix studios?
What a
And
transition.
IPs.
Yeah. So yeah,
I was
the
going to bring
Embracer
up
Group-
something about a chili cheese dog, but Mike moved on.
The Embracer Group, which is
The Embracer Group.
the Embracer Group,
Everybody knows the
has
Embracer Group.
acquired all of the Western studios owned by Square Enix. This would be Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, and also a catalog of their IPs, including Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, and many others. And the totaling price was about $300 million US dollars. On a cash and debt free basis.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
reading the thing here. They Embracer will hold a webcast presentation for investors, analysts, and media on May 2nd at this already happened, I guess. I never watched it. Oops. Just kind of like going into a bit more details about their acquisition. And yeah, so
Okay, Jay?
Yeah.
I'm a filthy casual. Tell me why I should care about this.
So it's essentially just like an acquisition. It just means that all these IPs and things are now owned by a different company, which is kind of big. Kind of like how Xbox purchased Bethesda.
Okay, gotcha.
Big companies don't buy things with lots of IPs unless they have plans for those IPs.
Yeah.
I think would be the big thing.
Yeah.
So I would expect a new Tomb Raider or maybe a Thief reboot.
I think it was just like Square was looking to sell these things.
Oh, of course, but
Um,
still, nobody's going to buy it unless they want to do something with it.
Yeah, like I mean, now they own the Avengers, so we might get another or a better Avengers game than the one we got.
Mm-hmm. Or like a sequel that's actually
Yeah.
a game that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully
I could make up a video game better than the one that they released initially.
So
Cool. Me too.
let's clarify. They're not touching my beloved Final Fantasy.
No, that's
This
Japanese
filthy
owned.
Embracer Group keeps their hands off of my
That's
Final
the
Fantasy.
Japanese branch of
Yeah.
Square Enix.
But there have been a lot of rumors about Square Enix selling in general, and
Yeah,
I
I've
wouldn't be
heard that.
surprised if they sold. And I hope that if they do sell, that it is to the good guys.
I heard there was a rumor
Whoever they
that,
are.
they were selling to Sony.
That would make
They're
sense.
the good guys because I have a PS5.
Insert PS5 startup noise.
Or like the violin sound from the PS3 starting up.
Or just like the old school PS2 startup sound. You know the one.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone who's old enough to know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know what?
Yep.
I'm on the side of Embracer Group now. I'm on their website. They're based in Karlstad, Sweden.
The Swedish.
They've never done anything wrong, so they must be a good people.
No, the Swedish have never done anything wrong.
They're so nice.
Yeah, they're so nice.
They're so nice. They're never in the news for bad things.
Yeah.
I work with a Swede. He's very nice.
Speaking of the news. It's the news. Here's the news for you all.
To the news!
Hey guys, what's
Hey.
in the news this week?
Guess what, Cole?
What?
You're going to be particularly excited about this one.
Am I?
Yep, Star Wars Visions. Dun, 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 dun. Season 2 is rumored to be in the works. A new batch of shorts are rumored to come out this year. And do you notice I said rumored twice there? It's because Lucasfilm has not officially announced this. Nobody has. There's the only person saying this is a website called Cinelinx at Linx.com. But they seem to be they're saying that they have several credible sources telling them that season 2 is currently in the works and it's going to be out relatively soon because I don't know if you guys noticed, but we are halfway through the year almost.
Yeah, almost. I would take that with a grain of salt personally, because if it's Cinelinx, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, when I
If it was like somebody else who was reporting on this, I might give it a little more credence, but I'm a little suspicious of these guys.
Yeah, that's when I was
pretty
reading it. I was
sus.
like, "Oh, cool!" And then I looked a little more into it when I was putting together a doc, and I'm like, "Oh, that seems very suspicious."
Well, I mean, I hope they're right.
They're
and
probably.
like,
I don't know why they would lie about this. Like, it's not like
Right,
it's a
yeah,
super
that's-
high impact. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I was just gonna say that. I don't really see a reason why somebody would kind of make something like this up.
Yeah, why would anyone on the internet ever make something up?
I would never.
Great point, Jay. No, you can trust everything you see on the internet, especially Facebook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I hope it's right. Like, I hope that they do a season 2. I hope that they do create a season 2 of Visions, because I did enjoy it for the most part. Most of it was good. Michael, have you seen Visions yet?
I have not.
No. Okay. I know that you didn't. I don't think you have Disney Plus. Do you?
I do,
Oh, well, Michael,
but don't tell.
get on it.
Don't tell Disney. But I don't.
Okay.
I share my Disney with somebody.
Oh my goodness. How could you?
I'm just gonna jump in with a shameless plug here. If
Yeah.
you like Star Wars and Star Wars Visions, we actually did a discussion of this way back when we had Room Echo, and you can listen to us talk about it.
And you can
Yeah,
hear
you just got to get our old third co-host, the Room Echo.
Yeah, we had to kick him off the show.
Yeah, we replaced him with Mike. Thank God.
so much worse.
Mike, no, you are far better than the Room Echo.
Oh,
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what else is really good?
What?
This next news story that I think Cole should talk about.
This is our feel-good news story of the week that we haven't done in a few weeks. I don't know. I just saw this and I thought it was funny. Gene Simmons, you know Gene Simmons. He's on Kiss. You know the
Yeah.
band Kiss. He
You know-
plays bass. He's got the long tongue.
I'd hate to say it,
His
Cole,
tongue was
but it's like legitimately totally possible at this point that people do not know who Gene Simmons is.
Don't know who Gene Simmons is.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the rumor about Gene Simmons that he had his tongue replaced with a cow's tongue?
What?
No, I didn't.
No.
You've never heard that before?
No.
No. Why were you the person
Oh.
spreading that rumor?
No. I don't know. I forget how old I am. That was like a rumor that people would say
That's
in
like
high school.
the Marilyn Manson having his ribs removed rumor or whatever too.
Wait, what?
We can't talk about
We'll
that.
talk
on the
about that
podcast.
off air.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air.
Okay.
Everybody who knows what we're talking about, you guys get it.
This is a family-ish friendly podcast.
For the most part, yeah. Anyway, Gene Simmons is open mind about fictosexual otaku. Basically what it comes down to is Gene Simmons was asked about this guy who married Hatsune Miku, and he was like, "Hey, like, let people do what they want to do. If he's happy, then he's happy. That's all that matters." What does he say?
He actually commented.
It
yeah, he like retweeted a post by the New York Post.
Yeah, and then he tweeted out, "It doesn't matter if you understand this relationship. It only matters if this otaku man is happy. Otaku is a person who is manga and tech fan. Good luck to him, he says.
I purposely
Hey, man, like...
didn't fix that sentence when I put it in our doc because I was just like, oh, this is so boomer.
It sounds like a man who doesn't understand what otaku is.
Yeah,
and
he
just
thinks
Googled
his name is Otaku for sure.
But no, he doesn't. He specifies what it means. I'm giving him credit, guys. Like he is saying, you guys are saying this sounds so boomer. No, I think it sounds great.
No,
like, he's
read
saying,
it, Cole. He said if you read it as if he thinks the guy's name is Otaku, it makes sense.
Otaku. Oh, no, okay, yeah, sure. But what I'm saying is that he is saying, like, he's being...
No, it's you know what, I like it too. It's understanding of people and whatever.
Yeah.
People do what they want.
Like, he's...
Yeah.
Well, no, and he does say, it only matters if this otaku man is happy. He says that. And then he specifies otaku as a person who is a manga and tech fan. So he knows. I'll give Gene Simmons credit, guys. You guys are ragging on him.
I still think he thinks it's his name.
You think he thinks his name is Otaku Man?
Maybe. We'll see. But yeah,
the only thing that matters is this Otaku Man.
Otaku is a person who is a manga and tech fan. Good luck to him. But no, like,
good luck to Otaku.
I like anything open-minded and accepting of people, and as long as they're not hurting anybody, do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody's got to get off this guy. Let him love the Vocaloid.
Oh, no, I'm reading the article here. It says it's reporting on his current relationship with Miko after unofficially marrying her in 2018. Tech company Gatebox sold unofficial marriage certificates and allowed users to interact with the character via hologram. But after Hatsune Miku ended service in 2020, Kondo has struggled to communicate with his chosen life partner.
Oh, that's so sad. This was supposed to be a feel-good story.
No.
Mike,
he can't talk to his wife
ruined it.
anymore?
Nonetheless, he says that he is still as deeply in love with the Vocaloid as ever. So there's your bittersweet ending to this one.
Well,
oh my God, Starcraft lovers! If I ever heard of any,
they literally
Dude, Romeo and Juliet IRL, man.
How is this not like a isekai anime or something where like a guy falls in love with a character in a video game and then tries to enter the world of the video game or something?
Yeah,
and
guys, I'm legit. I am. That's what a bummer.
This is supposed to be our feel-good story of the week.
Yeah, you know, I'm only half joking. That actually makes me sad.
Oh, you know what should make you happy though? Instead.
What?
Talking about the new Devil is a Part-Timer novel.
Jay, it's a light novel.
Yes, hi.
Is it a light novel?
Welcome.
Or is it a novel?
Yes, it is a light novel.
Oh.
I gotta wipe my tears.
So welcome to my light novel center. Because the corner's for games, so the center's for light novels. Yeah. We're gonna construct a J room at some point.
Jay's just literally like erecting so many different rooms in the studio.
Yeah,
me and Cole are just getting squished out. We're like, we just want to talk about anime. And Jay's like, no game,
no, get in the hallway,
no light novels.
I just shove you guys in the hallway and slam the door.
Yeah.
Can we take our chairs with us at least?
I have a nice chair. I want to take it. No.
You can take your mics. That's it.
I got a squeaky chair.
You can take your microphones. So anyway,
brilliant audio.
So yeah, it's been announced that a new sequel light novel for Devil is a Part-Timer will be released in July of 2022 and is titled Hataraku Mao-sama Okawari, which is essentially Devil is a Part-Timer the Second. Written by Satoshi Wagahara and illustrated by 29.
29 what?
That's like guns.
The illustrator goes by 02929. Yeah, we don't know like what is the story, like what's going to happen. I know that there was a lot of fan backlash for how the first part ended, so maybe it's in response to that, but there's no telling. Season 1 released in 2013 and season 2 will air this summer. Season 2 will cover the events in volume 3 of the series. And yeah, have you guys seen Devil is a Part-Timer?
I have not.
I have, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was pretty good, right?
Yep, that's what I'd call it. I'd call it pretty good.
Yeah, I'd probably give it
score
maybe like a 7 or an 8.
I think I gave it like a 7.5. It's like the definition of a 7.5 for me.
Yeah,
it's like it's just it's good, but like it's not the best thing. But it's like you could watch it and just enjoy it. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You don't have to
Yeah.
think
Is it
too hard.
above average?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Average is like a 6 to 7 to my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Yeah.
7 is like good.
Yep. This is a good. I would 7 and higher. I would recommend to people to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty hyped about season 2. Actually, I really, like I said, I enjoyed it. I think it'll probably end up having a bigger budget and stuff, and like since it's a kind of an anticipated anime at this point.
Probably. It's been very weird because like I said, season 1 came out in 2013, which was almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And now we're finally getting a season 2, and a lot of Kadokawa light novels are getting this treatment, like Classroom of the Elite, Spice and Wolf getting another anime. We don't know what that is yet, but
What?
we talked about this like weeks ago.
Yeah, cool.
I know, I forgot. You were talking and then I'm like, oh my God, this podcast I'm listening to, they're talking about Spice and Wolf. And then I realized I'm on the podcast.
I just saw one thing here that okawari refers to asking for a second serving in a meal. So I don't know what that means to you guys at all. Like it's specifically a food reference.
Oh,
Okay.
I think because like he works at the McDonald's or whatever. McDonald's.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a pun, or maybe there's something food related else going on, or maybe they open a different restaurant. Who knows? We'll
knows?
see in
They
July
always do stuff like
2022.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we got any more news? Do we got any more news stories?
Yeah.
Maybe one more, possibly?
There's one more, and it's also something about coming out in July 2022. It's an original short anime. It doesn't say whether it's short episode lengths or short series, so I'm thinking the default would be like a 10 to 12 episode anime is what they
some
meant
kind
by
of
this.
OVA.
Yeah. Is announced. It's called KJ File. And boys, how do you guys feel about kaiju?
Oh, this is what it is. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking
Like
about.
Godzilla and stuff like that. Because this is kaiju anime. They announced an official website, main staff, cast, and ending theme song, key visual for this anime. It is scheduled to premiere in July 2022, and it's going to be produced by Studio Ilka. I have a synopsis for you here. Are you guys ready?
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay, let me know when you're ready, Jay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. The story is set in a world where unique kaijus suddenly begin to appear in various places around the world. Members of the United Nations Monster Observatory will explore a world where kaijus with great powers and humankind live together. So
Is that an actual UN agency? UNMO?
I don't know.
Unmo?
You're the government agency guy on the podcast.
Yeah, you're the conspiracy theorist.
I'll have to look into it, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. This is me coming from the future?
Yep.
No, it's not real.
Okay, good. I tried to look at Studio Ilka to find something that they'd done that people would know, and there's not much. They've only done a few things.
Such as?
The only thing that I see here that anyone might know is Love Live, the school idol movie. Sorry, I'm loading the movie. Yeah, Love Live, the school idol movie is what it's called. And then something called Yami Shibai. I don't know what that is at all. But yeah, they really have not done much. So that I don't know what that says for the prospects of this anime, but it's an interesting idea.
If it's
I just
go ahead.
I just googled Ilka.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the same company, but it keeps saying that Ilka, the company developing the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
That's what I was about to say.
I know. I don't think it's the same company because it's the title of the. Hold on, I just closed the tab.
It's the same logo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, you know what it is? I Love Computer Art. That is the same company. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
It's probably just the Japanese branch or the anime branch.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they take a book out of the newest Godzilla anime and give it a banger OP by
That'd be
Bish.
cool.
That'd be cool.
Here it is.
Oh,
here it is.
They actually, you know what? They actually did already announce the OP for it. I think I said that in here. It's like it's by a punk band apparently.
Oh, hey, you know what? You know what else? Going back to my thing, Call of the Night, the trailer, the OP for the trailer.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. You guys should go back and listen to it.
I don't remember if I've heard it.
I might do that on.
It's
the
in the
break.
trailer. Good God, Michael.
Michael,
are you wanting to go to? Are you wanting to go to a break?
That?
But you know what we should do before the break?
What?
We should go to the mailbag. As I reach down into my...
It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. I want to wail. Mail. There's your Blue's Clues reference for the week.
Cole,
Oh, there it
you
is.
you must clip that, and that is our new intro to the mailbag. We have I'm going to reach deep down into my sack of mail. We have
Yes.
so much mail in here. You can hear the papers rustling around.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one here from Toast and Eggs.
Oh.
They want to know. They heard a lot of Gintama talk at the last episode, so they want to hear
Yes.
it, guys. Who is the best girl in Gintama? And I'm going to quickly Google Gintama waifus.
Mike, who do you think is Mike? I want you to guess who each one of us think is.
Okay,
best
so
girl.
I'm gonna guess each of yours. Okay, I'm looking
Yeah.
at. Okay, here we go. Waifu tier list for Gintama. Loading it up.
Mhm.
As someone who knows absolutely nothing about Gintama, we are going to go Cole.
Yeah.
I don't know the names.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at purely at the list,
Yep.
I'm thinking you like. She's got brown hair. She's got some kind of scarf and purple jacket. Some red
Okay.
scarf, purple jacket. She looks grumpy. Or possibly,
Is it the one with the glasses?
Does
she have glasses?
no, she has purple hair. The girl with the
Purple hair.
glasses. I don't need to look up.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. No. Okay. Or possibly.
I need to find. Hold on, I'm gonna quickly go to the Annie list, and then I'll have the characters there, and I can actually tell you.
There's only one correct answer, and I know Jay and I disagree, but Jay's wrong.
No,
I
you're
feel
wrong.
Like, and then Jay's is the girl with the red hair.
No.
I think,
Okay.
or that
No.
might be Cole's actually, because she's got short hair. Now that I look at it a little bit more. Okay, new take here.
Okay.
Cole, you like
Yep.
the girl with the red hair I think she's a main character. She always looks grumpy to me. I don't know what her name is. She's got red
Okay.
hair. And then Jay,
Okay.
purple hair with glasses.
Jay,
Yes.
who would you who's best girl in Gintama?
Best girl is Tsukiyo.
And why is it Kagura?
It's not Kagura.
It's Kagura.
It's not Kagura.
Which one's
She,
Kagura?
she's good. She's great. She's a great character, but she's not best girl.
Kagura's the one with the red hair.
The one I said you like.
Yeah.
And that, do you like her?
Yeah, she's best girl.
Yes.
She's the best. She's funny.
I just see a lot of memes about her, so I don't actually know, but she seems to be a very popular character.
She's very funny, and she's the main heroine of the show. But she's not best girl.
Our
Yes, she
friends
is.
at the Snack Bar podcast, who we might be releasing a little project with at some point here, they also agree that Kagura is best girl. Just to throw that out there, just a little tease.
Yeah, a little democracy wins here, Jay. But please tell us why this other rando is best girl.
Look, Tsukiyo's best girl. She has a very hard exterior, but she's
Gross.
adorable. And I liked her backstory. Her interactions with Gintoki are great, and just great girl.
She's not even a person.
Not even a person.
What?
Listen, I'm scrolling through the character list here. I can't even find her. Oh my god, she's way down on the list.
Yeah, because she's not a main character. She appears sometimes.
Well, you can't just pick some rando.
No,
She's
here's
not a
the thing.
rando.
Cole, Jay has to pick an obscure pick.
Yeah,
It is on
you're
brand.
right,
It
Mike.
is on
It's
brand.
not-
You're right. You're
She's
right.
not obscure.
It's obscure.
You gotta pick this obscure pick.
I'm going to say my favorite
haven't met her
girl is going to be the female-looking Gintoki girl, just because that's the only one that I actually kind of recognize at all, just because she looks like
Which one?
Gintoki. Ginko?
Kinko?
Gintoki as a girl.
Is that who that is?
Yes.
Sweet. There we go. Is that actually what I'm looking at here? It
Yes.
looks like Gintoki as a girl. I just thought it was like a
Yes,
sister
that actually
or
is
something.
what it is. There's an arc in the anime and manga where all the characters switch genders.
Oh, of course.
Absolute.
Anime Simpsons
You
does it again.
You've fallen for the trap, Michael.
The trap card has been released. And
Yeah.
to recover from this grievous error, I will go to break now.
Okay. I think we'll also go to break at the same time. And after break, we will come back and we will discuss Anohana. Jay's already crying, I can tell.
No.
Why would you cry to this anime?
Yeah, why would you cry to this anime? I didn't.
I didn't.
Oh.
We'll talk about
guess
this
that's
after
just
the
me.
break. Yeah, we'll talk about it after the break.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Break!
Break.
know how to imitate a bald eagle's cry? Because you're going to need to do that.
Welcome back from the break. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different from what we normally do, and we are going to be reviewing a very popular anime, Anohana. Gentlemen, we have all seen Anohana in this past week, correct?
Speak for yourself. I haven't.
Okay.
Wait, were we supposed to watch the show?
Oh no.
Wait,
All right, we're gonna wing it here, ladies and
Wait.
gentlemen of the podcast.
Hey,
Yes.
guys, I watched something called Anohai Mitahana no Name wo Botukachi wa Madai Shiranai.
Oh God.
I think that's the one that I watched too.
Oh God. We all watched something different then.
It's
Jay,
called-
what did you watch?
I watched.
what did you watch?
I watched a little show called. Let me see here.
Did you know the direct translation is "We still don't know the name of the flower we saw that day"?
I saw a
beautiful.
little show called Anohana.
Oh, gross!
Oh,
That was bad. I didn't like that
It's very
pronunciation
bad. That was
at
very
all.
bad. Oh God.
That's uncomfortable. Anyway, Jay, what are we talking?
Anyway,
what are we
so,
doing? What's the plan?
we are
we're
going
talking
to
about
be-
Anohana.
Yes, we were talking
people
about
listening with
Anohana,
headphones.
the flower we saw that day. And yeah, so we're gonna open up with a spoiler-free discussion, just kind of talk about what we thought of the show and that animation, direction, music, OP, ED, and things like that. And then later on, we're gonna get into more of a spoiler discussion. So and we will give you a warning, like, okay, this is when we get to the spoilers. So if you want to check out and don't want to watch it, or don't want to hear spoilers and want to go watch the show, you can do that. And then once you watch the show, come back and listen to us talk about it.
Yeah, but they can listen basically up to that point. We'll give you a warning, and then you can. By that point, you can decide if you want to watch the show or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll kind of give you like do you want to watch, or you should go watch it, or don't go watch it, or that kind of thing.
Yeah. Anybody want to kick it off?
Let's start with. I know since we all love openings and endings here, let's talk about the OP.
I do like me a good OP.
Yeah.
And speaking of good OPs, Anohana's got a pretty good OP.
It does have a really good OP.
I'm gonna be the
we
dissenting voice. I thought it was just an okay OP.
really?
I like the song, but yeah.
We discussed this OP on our OP episode way back when.
Episode 15, I think
and-
that was.
Yeah, and I gave it my extra point, my trap card point.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this OP. It's a nice one.
It's a really good OP. Song's really great. I think it really represents the show really well. And the characters and everything.
Yeah, they're all just kind of longing for the past.
Yeah,
you know?
and like I think like while I was watching that OP, like I like how the characters kind of appear. Like there's this, like, each of them are just kind of doing their thing, and then like the, like, quote unquote ghosts of their younger selves appear, and they kind of appear in a way where like how they are relative to like where they are now. So like for Jinta, it'll be like in his room with him, and then like for Anado, she'll be like behind like bars, kind of like how she's like sealed away from them, kind of thing.
Whoa! I was not expecting such a detailed, detailed thought about this. I was just expecting to come in and say, "Hey, it's good."
Yeah. Another cool thing I noticed about the OP is during the very first thing, when it's like the white screen and all the young characters, and then there's a flash.
Yeah.
If you pause when it flashes the first time, it actually, I'm pretty sure that it pauses like the background, the thing that fills in the character outlines is the part of the final scene. Like I think it's that backdrop. I could be wrong. And then when it flashes and it goes back to them as older selves, they actually have the flower in the middle replacing one of the characters, which I thought was a nice touch. It was a nice little touch there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And then that quick 2-frame thing with like after they all disappear, and then there's just the one there.
Yeah.
Trying to be it's the OP. I mean, yeah, the one character
It's
is there
also
by
like
herself.
the main it's the main focus
thing
of the
the
plot.
show.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say what happens in episode 1.
No,
Yeah.
I think everybody knows. Yeah, she's a ghost.
A ghost. Yeah.
I like how is it spoilers to talk about episode 1? Can
No.
I get into that? Okay.
I think that's as
Wait.
far as you can go.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't want to know anything about this show, just tune out now and then come back when we're done. But we're going to just basically consider episode 1. You need to talk about it because it's part of the
Yeah.
setup of the show.
Yeah.
I like how at the beginning of the show, like it kind of is kind of vague on what she is, like whether she's like actually a ghost or like just a figment of his imagination.
Yeah, I
due to
like that they
stress and
kind of
trauma.
they left it for quite a while like that too,
Mhm.
and I like that.
And like
Yeah.
the way the show is like framed and shot, like she kind of like is obscured from like other people's vision. So like it's very good visual foreshadowing on what she is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Any more thoughts on the OP? Really?
No.
I think we
it's
pretty
good.
much covered it all, eh?
Mhm.
What do you guys think about the ending of the ED? Not the ending of the show, but the
Did you
ending
guys
song.
listen to the song I sent you for after it ended or for after
The
you finished
10-year
it? Yeah.
Well, the 10-year after one was just one of the EDs.
Yeah, that's just the ED.
Yeah.
It's just the full version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
But
song.
like they use that for one of the EDs in the show.
yeah,
Isn't it the
yeah.
last one?
They use it throughout various episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on a few of them where it'll specify.
Mhm.
I don't know. The ED was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty just generic. Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was a
It's
good
basically
song.
yeah, it's a good. They both are good songs, but yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
much just like okay, here's the characters and here's a nice song and some credits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. EDs for me never really like get me going. You know.
Yeah.
It-
Well, the
sometimes-
As much as
sometimes,
OPs
the
do.
point of an OP
Sometimes
and
they do.
like, the point of each are kind of different. The point of the ED is to kind of like it's kind of like a cool down from
Mhm.
from the episode
show.
and kind of like
Yeah.
like get ready, like stay tuned for next week kind of thing. Whereas the OP is like, okay, get ready, like this is the show, let's go.
Yeah, the ED itself to me just kind of like felt like a Toradora one. Where
Yeah.
it's like, look at the girls. The girls are doing their own thing here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's a pretty good one just to have this. I watched this on Netflix, and the Netflix auto skip pretty much comes in right away. And this was one that I definitely utilized that feature on for the.
Oh, I did not. I legitimately every time that came up, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" No, I am listening to Secret Base because it is a good song.
It's like Netflix asking if you want to auto skip Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Yeah.
for-
Yeah.
No, I was talking about the ED.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
they always like recommend
Oh,
skipping
yes,
the OPs.
yeah. The
Mhm.
OPs, yeah, I'll skip them once in a while, which I know is sacrilege to some, but
You know what, Mike? Though, like going back to the OP, I skipped I skipped the OP a few times on
I
this
did
one.
too. I think
It's
I
like,
skipped this one half the time.
Excuse
I
you.
was like, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. I like the OP, but I'm like, I don't need to see it every 20 minutes.
Here's my thing about it. I don't need to see it every 20 minutes, and by skipping it over the course of a 12 episode show, you get an extra episode of watching.
Mm-hmm. My thing with OPs is just like, okay, I'll watch it once or twice, maybe 3 times, and then after that, I'm like, okay, now I can skip
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
I just need it to kind of get me into the mood.
Yeah,
I don't need to watch it every time.
I guess I'm
Unless
the
it's
outlier
like,
here because I'm the one that watches the OP every single time.
unless
Yeah.
it's like an absolute banger, and this one's
Yes.
good, but it's not. Like it's not even Galleon.
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
Kaguya-sama. Like,
I wouldn't
I don't think
say-
I've ever skipped a Kaguya-sama OP. But this is not the OP podcast. I'll let Jay finish his thought before we move on.
Here's
Mhm.
here's the thing about the OP. It's like I
Back
wouldn't
to
say
the
like
OP.
it's a banger. This is my last thought on the OP before we move on to other stuff. But I think that like I wouldn't say the OP is a banger. It's a lot more of an emotional song.
Yeah,
like
I
sung
like
from the
it, though.
heart.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the song itself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A
Now-
lot. The OP is good. The song is very good.
Yes, that's how I feel too. Now, how do you guys feel about sound as a whole in the show? Did you guys anything stand out to you guys in that or anything? One thing stood out to me, and I don't know. This might be a good time to mention that I watched this dubbed.
Oh!
Did you guys watch
Right.
this subbed?
Oh,
I watched it
was actually
subbed.
wondering if any of us watched it dubbed, and I'm glad you did because
I was considering going back and forth between the two, but then I realized that there was a certain voice actress in it, and I was like, I can't.
same.
I can't let her not be the voice for this character.
Same.
Who is that? Just out of curiosity.
Jay?
Sayori Hayami as what's her name?
Menma.
No,
Surumi.
as Tsurumi. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's Ponytail Girl or Twin Tails.
The
no,
glasses.
That's
Glasses.
Girl.
Glasses
Oh,
girl.
okay. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? I feel like you guys. Let's not get too deep into this, but I feel like you guys would unite in the fact that you both probably like her.
She's
As
played
best
by.
girl.
Is she the one that's played by Erica Mendez? I know she's in this show.
Erica Mendez?
I
in
don't
the dub.
know voice. I don't know
The-
voice actor. I don't know actors at all.
Sorry.
hold
Sorry.
on.
I'm just. Hold on. I'll look.
tell
The
ya.
girl that
Okay.
plays
Cole's looking it up.
Megumin in the dub of Konosuba.
I don't know. I don't know at all. The one thing that stood out to me, I don't know. If
Erica
this is...
Mendez is Surumi.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
that's what I
there
thought.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, her voice actor is really good. Honestly, all of the voice acting in this one in the dub was really good, and it sounds like you guys agree with the sub.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Some things that I noticed here, I watch on I have a surround sound system and stuff.
Okay.
In this one, they mix dubs in 5.1 a lot of the time, whereas subs are always pretty much just stereo.
Mhm.
I noticed in this one, every time that they brought up what's the main character's name, Ginta or whatever.
Jinta.
Ginta, yeah. Whenever Ginta his inner monologue comes out, they boost the volume so much on it, like his own thoughts are overpowering everything else that's going on around him.
Interesting.
And then like it comes dead center out of everything, where else everybody else talking is like actually in kind of surround sound a little bit, but then
Wherever
his-
they are in the scene.
yeah, but then his thoughts are always like the loudest thing and the absolute center of everything in the show at like whenever they come out. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I thought that was like
it
a
kind
nice
of makes
touch.
sense.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Yeah. Saori.
Saori
I always have a
Hayami?
tough time with. Yeah. Her performance in this one was probably the least Saori performance.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't know it was her unless you look it up.
Oh, it was funny. It's funny you say that. Like, I heard her voice, and like, immediately I was like, "Is that Saori Hayami?" So like, I looked it up, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it is!" And in my notes here for the show, I literally have in all caps, "Saori Hayami."
But like, I would be more hyped if it was my girl Kana Hanazawa, but Saori's is a close second for sure.
Best Seiyu.
Second best Seiyu.
No. You don't understand. Saori Hayami, best Seiyu.
But in this one, I would give her credit for not playing the same voice that she does on everything.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't sound like herself, which is nice.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, everyone else was good. I don't mean to just kind of focus on the one. Because, I mean, the voice actress for, what's her name? The other girl.
Anju.
Anju.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really good. I mean, she was able to be emotional and everything. Jesus, I'm awful. Menma. Menma was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe a little one note until like the end of the series.
Are we talking like just her voice actor or like the?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, just voice actress
I
in
liked
general.
how she like her voice sounded like she was still a kid because she still technically.
Well, yeah, she just always sounded like a cute anime
which like
girl.
she is she still does have the mentality of a kid because she never lived past her childhood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
I think at this point, are we all any more thoughts on sound design in the show or anything that stood out?
No,
Voice actors, yeah.
Yeah, the voice acting was all good. And I'm happy that the dubs were good too.
yeah, I think that the backing music, like honestly, there's nothing really worth noting about the about the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I
would
it
say-
just
Pretty
kind of like it
standard.
sounded serviceable.
It did a good job of using the soundtrack to kind of like boost the dramatic scenes, I would say. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
anytime anything like was happening that was pretty dramatic, it was not overly obvious, but like it definitely was there. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes they'll put like the dramatic music in and you're like, oh, okay, this is a little
No,
too on the
that's-
nose. But it does
Yeah.
a good job in this show of doing it.
Mhm.
And that's how a soundtrack should be, right? It should
Yeah.
just be there like air.
Yeah.
That's the way that I think about it. Like you shouldn't notice it, but it should be helping to propel a certain feeling.
Mhm. Like
Yeah.
if it's not there, you would
Ambient.
you'd rather notice that it's not there than if it is, kind of thing.
Mhm. Yeah, it should be in service to the story.
Mhm.
There is one thing that I did want to bring up specifically, and that was the character design to it. Because when I watched the show, I'm like, this show looks specifically like an awful lot like one of my favorite anime, Toradora. Does anybody else get that?
Yeah, it definitely
Vibe
has a
from
similar look to it.
I can,
Especially
and
with
let me-
Twin Tails. Twin Tails gave me lots of what's her name vibes.
Because the characters, like especially the girl characters, big eyes, which I mean is standard anime, but I mean like specifically big eyes, and the hair was like, I have a difficult time describing it, but the hair is like soft,
Like
The
it was
way
kind of
the way it's
frizzy
shaped.
and yeah.
Yeah.
I know
And
what
the
you're
reason for that is the character designer, Masayoshi Tanaka, is the character designer to both shows.
talking about. Oh, there you go. That explains it.
Yeah.
Let's
He is
use
also
that to transition to talking about the visuals and character design of the show.
yes, good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like. I think it was really great. Like they, this is an anime original, so there's no source material to base anything off of. So it was just kind of created from scratch, and like they all look, they all look really good. I like, just like I guess this is a bit more character, but I like just like how Jinta's clothes are like a bit like baggier and like not really like I don't want to say
You keep calling
professional.
him Jinta, isn't it? Jintan?
That's the nickname that they gave him.
Jintan!
Yeah, Jitan.
Yeah, that's his nickname, but his
No, I know.
Anyway, regardless.
I refuse to call him anything but that, though.
Yeah, he's Jintan.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
refer
Jintan.
to him as Jintan from now on.
Thank you. We're his
no.
friend. We're his friend now.
True.
Yeah.
We
Call
are
him
friends.
Jintan.
We're all friends.
Jitan is
I mean,
so cool.
Nobody calls Meiko Hanma anything other than Menma.
the men. Yeah, that is
exactly.
true. Yeah.
I think her mom calls her Mako. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares who
Uh,
her mom is?
I thought this show was very well animated too. Like everything was very smooth and fluid. Like it looked really nice.
Yeah.
There's one specific scene that I want to talk about in terms of animation, but it is spoilers. So, yeah.
I think
I'll
I know
kinda-
what
About
scene
that
you're
later.
talking about.
Yeah, we'll save like that for later, and then we'll just kind of talk more about general art. I think for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's really I don't think a ton to say about it. But
I mean, it's not an action anime, so like, I mean, we're not talking about like fight scenes or anything like that, but very good character animation.
Yeah.
Like,
There was that scene.
facial animation, just like body movements and stuff like that. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if some of this was rotoscoped.
I could see that,
Yeah.
especially like a
Loosely
lot of the.
rotoscoped.
There's like quite a few running scenes in it that kind of just looking at them, they look kind of like pretty real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'd say it wouldn't be a stretch to call this show pretty. You know what I mean?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But pretty in like the purest anime sense. Like it's
Yeah.
not as pretty as like something like
Violet Evergarden.
or
Demon Slayer.
Your Name or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's not like wow, that's pretty, but you're looking at it like that looks nice. Like
Yeah.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good way
Like
to
the
talk
bridge
about it.
looks really good, you know? Like
Yeah, the backgrounds are really good in the show too. There was I was looking and I didn't see anything that was like kind of half-assed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, totally.
It kind of looked like they just did everything really well, but nothing like amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's kind of the like it all felt serviceable. Was the kind of thing that I felt like it was good, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Are you guys ready to get into the plot and characters, which will be spoiler territory?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
Jay?
so, yeah. Well, hold on. Let's just before we get into it, maybe we should just kind of say, do we recommend the show to people?
Maybe we'll start I'm thinking of ways to like, this is going to be a recurring segment, right? So let's think of ways that we can keep this going. Let's say thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you recommend
Sure.
this show to anyone who watches anime?
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend it. There's a reason why everybody always brings this one up as like one of the sad anime that you should watch.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that per se, but I would say it's definitely worth your time in watching.
I completely agree with you, Cole. Thumbs up. Unless you're like, I only watch battle anime.
Well,
'Cause you're
sure.
you're gonna be pretty bored watching this if you only watch like Black Clover and stuff like that. But if you're into kind of like more cerebral, kind of like
melancholic
me-
dramas.
Melancholic,
emotional type. Yeah, like if you're in for like something a little more emotional, then yeah, you're gonna like this.
Yeah, this would be if you liked something like Violet Evergarden,
A silent voice.
a silent voice.
Yep, those are perfect recs for
Mhm.
the.
This would be one of them for
and,
sure.
And if you watch this and haven't watched those, you should go watch those.
Yeah.
And also Fruits Basket is kind of in the same vibe too, but
Yeah.
different but same vibe, I'd say.
Mhm.
Yeah, same vibe.
Yeah.
Same
Definitely.
vibe.
So with that, this is your official spoiler warning.
Spoilies.
If you want, pause it and come back to us once you've watched these 11 episodes of this show. It's a quick watch, I can tell you, because I watched it this week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing I should say. Quick watch. I watched it in one evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it over, I
I
think,
powered through it.
3 days, but this was my second watch, so.
And there's a dub
Wow.
too, so like you can kind of, it's a little easier to watch too, so it's pretty good.
Mhm.
And now we will talk about the plot of the show.
The plot. Okay, good. Now I can get a little bit more in depth.
Guys, what's this show about?
Okay, so Menma, the girl, the Goyle with the white dress and the blue ribbon, you all know her. She's got the white hair.
Yukiatsu?
I didn't I didn't know her until I actually watched this show. I'd never seen her before, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, she's like the main girl
Yeah.
in the show.
Yeah.
It turns out she died. How many years ago? 10 years ago?
Yeah,
like
10
that?
years
Yeah.
ago. That's why
she
it's the
died
10 years later
in
version. Anyway, go ahead.
she died in a vague
I like
falling into a river accident.
So
I like that they never really went deep into exactly how she died. They
yeah,
kinda
it's
just
kind of
said she died.
insane. You can kind of guess from context
Yeah.
clues that she fell
Yeah.
into the river after chasing after Jintan.
Yeah, because he catches Anju in that same spot, and she's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that
yeah,
this is where we were."
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, she dies, and then she shows up to our main character, Jintan,
10 years later.
who is the only person who can see her. And we talked about this a little bit in the pre-spoiler thing. I wasn't 100% convinced that she was a real thing until she started interacting with other things.
Yep. And I like that they did that too. They left it until probably, I think it was like episode 5-ish, maybe.
Oh, I was later. I was like until they were all like in the clubhouse fighting, and then she writes in the notebook.
Yeah.
Up until that point, it could have gone either way. Like I knew, because like, you know me, I don't care about spoilers, so I knew about how the show ends and all of that.
Well, how did you explain her making the bread then?
Yeah, or
well, he made the
he could have made the bread.
Yeah.
He could have just made the bread, and in his psychosis, he was just
Yeah.
Okay.
like in his grief,
Yeah.
he just said, "Oh, she made the bread."
Yeah.
What
Like,
got it
everything-
for me was when she jumped on, I think, Popo pretty early on. I think it might have been like exactly at the midway point. She like jumps on
Yeah.
a character and they kind of like go, "Whoa, what was that?" And I was
think-
like, "Oh,
I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
Anohana
even-
does that, like when she goes to visit him the first time. She jumps on her,
Yeah,
and she goes, "Ow, my
But-
shoulders."
but like even that, I could
That was kinda subtler,
conceivably, I could conceivably say like, "Oh, this is just." Like, you know, in a dream, sometimes you'll dream about your alarm clock going off and then it goes off.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, it's just your mind plays tricks on you into thinking that you thought of something before it actually happened.
yeah,
I could have conceivably thought that was just coincidental.
Yeah.
Until she writes in the notebook. And again, I just mean from a narrative perspective, if I was watching this from with fresh eyes, I could have gone either way until she's actually like interacting with everybody.
yeah." That was
Yeah.
like the 100%. She's there. This is proof. There's just for some reason they can't see her. But like I liked how it worked up to like it started off. Oh, she kind of like bumps into people and like, okay, maybe that's just like, you know, like you said, a coincidence or something like that. Or like he's making it up in his head, or they tripped or something like that. But then eventually they get to the point where it's like, no, she's real, she's there.
Yeah.
But it kind of keeps you guessing for a while.
And I mean, even the first scene where like she shows up and she's jumping all over Jintan, and he doesn't really react like you would expect somebody who thinks they might be going crazy would. Like he just kind of like takes it, and she's jumping all over him like you would kind of expect somebody to if it was a real person.
Yeah.
So then you're kind of like, oh, okay, so like this friend is over to hang out with him, but nobody else is reacting to her. Oh, and then he looks into the reflection and there's nobody there. And then you're like, oh, okay, so what's going on.
Yeah.
It's an intriguing like first step into the show.
Yeah, and
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it's a really good, like, it was very good exposition, just kind of like showing how, like, he wanted to ignore her because, like, it's his trauma and all that.
Mhm.
That
What did he call it? His summer
monster, I think.
Summer monster,
Summer beast. That's what it was.
Summer Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was I gonna? Sorry, I lost my thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were talking about him jumping or her jumping on him in the mirror and how which like
yes, yeah.
Do
I was
you
just
remember
gonna say that.
Okay.
I kind of just thought like kind of what you were saying there, that sometimes the characters and story in this, if you kind of step back and look at it from like a rational person's perspective, you're kind of like, that's not how a person would really act at that point. You know what I mean? Like there's quite a few things in this show where it's like, that seems...
Well, I don't know. Like if somebody's going crazy but still has the like mental faculty to like realize that they are, they might just kind of like, okay, I'm going crazy, and then just kind of deal with it in their own head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what you mean. Like you would expect them to be like a rational person like you or me, Michael or Jay. I'm assuming.
Nice save.
Like if I was having a mental episode, I would think that I'd like reach out and be like, hey, something's wrong. I need to like go and see somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is these are kids.
Yeah.
And maybe they wouldn't. They'd be like, I'll just push through and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But like, why didn't Jintan get Menma to like prove? You know what I mean? She's like, okay, Menma's gonna jump on you right now. See, she's actually there. Or there's like just a million things that he could have done, or that people could have done.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
That was
if someone
that was
said,
something...
I have a ghost following me around, I'd be like, okay, prove it.
Yeah, that was something.
She didn't even know either. Like she didn't know if she was a ghost or what.
No, she knew she was dead.
No, she did.
She knew she was dead, but there were like other ghosts following her, and she's like, well, that could also be me.
I don't
like when Yukiatsu was in the forest, and Popo was like I saw Menma.
Yes, yeah.
And Menma was like, that could have also been me.
Yeah,
there was one scene.
That is, yeah.
There was the scene where she does prove herself to everybody else, and I can't remember if it was Popo or whoever said like, oh, well, why didn't you guys just do that at the beginning? And then they explained it away with like, oh, well, they've always been kind of airheady.
Yeah.
I don't know. That bothered me. I get why they put that in to like
explain the plot whole way. Yeah.
Yeah, to silence people like me and Michael, but like that would be for step one. I'd be like, okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like,
how can we
write
prove
in the book so that write on the ground with your finger or something like that. Like we've got to do something to prove that
I'm not crazy.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, like he was depressed as well, so I mean, like he could have also just been like, well, this may as well have happened.
Sure.
You know,
yeah, you can always explain stuff like that away by saying they're just people.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't do things, but like, I don't know. I think that would be like step one in proving that I'm not crazy. Look.
Yeah. There's a few things too. Like some of the characters, like it's just their motivations and stuff sometimes don't really. They feel like they're kind of just like, this is what they're going to do in the anime, and then they filled in the rest of the stuff later kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm never a huge fan too of, and this is probably going to ruffle Jay's feathers a little bit, when everybody loves one character just because they're awesome.
No, Michael, shut up.
It's like, no, that's not how it works. Not everybody loves, I don't know.
What do you mean?
No,
by that?
There was only
just like because they're a cool character, how everyone likes them, or
everyone loves Jintan because he's cool.
Oh yeah,
well,
you know what I mean? Or
everyone
loves
everybody
Menma
does.
because she's awesome. I don't know.
No,
yeah, well, I mean, like when it kind of sounds to me like as a kid when someone would ask you like, what do you like? You have a crush on someone. They're like, what do you like about them? They're like, well, they're funny and nice.
Yeah, but when they're like 17 at the end of this, and they're still holding on. I know that they're traumatized and stuff, but I don't know. It just doesn't.
It's fine. No, Michael,
It doesn't
not
ring
everybody.
True to me.
Not everybody loves everybody else. It's just everybody has like conflicting. Like there's like a Venn diagram for everybody about people that they like.
Yeah.
So Menma likes Jintan,
mm-hmm.
and Anju also likes Jintan. So there's the love triangle there.
Mm-hmm.
But then
and
what's his
Jintan
name?
likes Menma.
Sure, yeah, Jintan and Menma like each other.
Yeah.
And then Atsumi also likes Menma,
Yukiatsu.
And yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said Atsumi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yukiatsu,
sorry. That's like
yeah.
his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yukiatsu.
What am I reading?
That might be his first. That might be his first
real name.
That's his first name. Sorry,
Yukiatsu
I'm just
is his
looking
nickname.
at the
Yeah,
character. Yeah, and then Tsurumi likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like they all like each other. It's just it would be expected in like a group of prepubescent kids who are starting to like each other to like start to develop feelings for other people.
And I mean, those feelings carried on from like their elementary childhood, right?
And then Popo was just there.
Yeah, and then Popo. The whole time he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't like
really.
anybody. I got a thing to say about Popo too.
Yeah,
but I think we'll get to that in the towards the part where they're all kind of like airing their grievances.
Yeah,
I thought that's the final episode, right?
It was the second
10.
final episode.
Yeah, that's episode 10.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we right now?
Well, we're talking about episode 1.
Yeah, we don't really need to talk about every episode. We're just kind of
no, we don't.
We're just going to talk about every just a general overview.
Yeah, Jay, you had well. Let's try to like work our way through the plot. So episode 1 is all about. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Episode 1 is kind of all about Jintan finding Menma, and she's following him around, and it just kind of reintroduces us to where every character is. So Jintan is at home. He's kind of turned a bit more reclusive. He just sits at home, plays video games and stuff.
He's a hikikomori.
Hikikomori, yeah. And then Anju goes to school, and she brings him his homework every now and then.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we can kind of course, we know where that's going. The other two, black-haired glasses and light brown hair.
Tsurumi and Yukiatsu.
Yeah, they go to kind of a more preppy school, and they say that if Jintan had applied himself a bit more, he could have got into. So now we know Jintan is a bright kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's just troubled by whatever happened.
He's still traumatized by by his past. Yeah.
Popo's not introduced quite yet. I think he comes in episode 2 or 3,
something like that.
Yeah, but when he comes in, we discover him at their old hideout.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out he's dropped out of school and he's just traveling around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where all of our characters are. And then slowly through the series, they come together. And that's kind of the whole point of the series. Yeah. I really like the scene where... Oh, sorry, I should say that part of the whole thing is Menma comes in and she says to Jintan... I'm here because I need you to help me grant my wish, and then I'll be able to move on.
Yeah.
Whatever her wish is. So the whole thing is about them trying to find out what her wish is. So their first idea is, her wish is for you to catch this, I can't remember what the name of
super rare Nokemon.
Nokemon, which is a Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
And then Anju works at a like vintage video game store, movie rental place, a Blockbuster, essentially. And they go and they buy a vintage copy of it.
Nokemon Gold.
In the end, Nokemon Gold. And then in the end, they all kind of like hang out together.
Well, it's Anju, just Anado, Jintan, and Popo, and Menma.
Yeah, all hanging out at Anju's house. Mm-hmm. And I really like that scene.
Yeah,
I thought that's where the show was gonna go, is to kind of be like
get the band back together.
Move on, but still like be, like as an adult, I still like to go back and do things that I used to like to do back in the day. Like kind of a peek behind the curtain, but the three of us all hung out last weekend and we played Mario Golf, right?
Yeah.
And that was something that I haven't done since I was in high school.
Right.
And it was really fun. And I thought that's kind of where the show was going, was like, you can still go back and enjoy the things that you used to enjoy as a youth. And if they kind of stuck with that, I think it would have maybe been even better. But the themes in the show the themes in the show kind of conflict to me. Because on the one hand, it's that where like you have these friends forever, but on the other hand, you have to move on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Those are kind of conflicting themes a little bit.
It like the moving on wasn't moving on from like the friendship itself. It was the moving on from the trauma of the past.
it was growing up and moving on from trauma.
Yeah, and
But
it's really
at the same time, it's like cling to this trauma, cling to the people who had this trauma with you.
Well, it wasn't like cling to them. It was like it was the trauma of the past that kind of split up the group in the first place, right? Like if she hadn't died, they could have still been friends at 10 years later. But it's because of that tragic event, they all became scattered, and the same thing happened to her family, right? Like her mom didn't never even talks to her brother. Her dad.
That's true.
Her dad forced her to put all of Menma's stuff into her closet, and so she wouldn't be able to see it. And the idea is kind of all they're because of her death, everyone around her, all of the units, the family unit. I know that sounds like a robot, but you get my point. The
family unit
and the friend group, the Super Peacebusters, both shattered because her death was so traumatic to them. And because now they're all and specifically the Super Peacebusters getting back together and trying to grant her wish so she can move on, they're also working to move on themselves. And it's not, and I love how when it first starts, they're slowly getting together, but they're not really friends again because they don't all really believe in Jintan. The only person who really completely believes him is Popo, and it's because he's a complete airhead.
But by just before, I get the feeling that he didn't 100% believe it. I think he wanted to, but he didn't.
Well, that is true because of the
he
big
wanted to
thing
because of the trauma that
you're definitely
because
right.
of the trauma that he had.
Yeah,
he wanted to be able to find forgiveness, and we'll get to that a little bit
later.
I think so. We've established where they are and what the themes of the show and everything are. I think our next thing is to understand that kind of the main part of the show is these characters don't necessarily believe Jintan.
Yeah.
Right?
I think a big part of the show, honestly, is it starts off, you think, oh, okay, Jintan's the ringleader, everyone loves him, and then Menma's the second in the ring or whatever, everyone kind of circles around them, right? But then the further the show goes on, it kind of shatters your confidence in it, because this childhood hero who everyone thought was their hero, and then the more deep into it goes, you kind of realize, you know what, not everyone likes Jintan, or not everyone actually has faith in him as the main guy. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, which is I honestly thought was one of the better things of it, was that it kind of shows not everything is what it looks like on the surface. And when you guys were saying that you think that they could have actually remained friends even despite if what happened didn't happen. I don't know, because at the point where she dies, they actually are basically on the brink of basically breaking up as a group of friends, because you have the two, Yukiatsu and Twin Tails there. They're planning against Menma and Jintan. Then you have what's the ponytail girl? She's
Tsurumi.
Basically, Tsurumi. She's kind of just also orchestrating that, and then not really having the best intentions of the group and behind everything. Popo's kind of, again, just there. But
yeah, Popo's just hanging out.
And even Menma is kind of she knew what was happening, and she's trying to manipulate everybody to get Jintan. You know what I mean? It's the friend group is not healthy at the beginning there, and then
I'm not here to say that it's the healthiest friend group, but I don't think that I don't know if they would have just not been friends after that moment if they just all went home. There might have just been a conflict for a couple days, and then
I just don't think it'd be right to say that they'd be, if Menma didn't die, they would have continued being the best of friends and everything was sunshine and rainbows. There was actually turmoil behind the scenes. There's waves rippling, right?
Okay, so. I should amend that. I wasn't trying to say that everything's amazing and la 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 la. That's not what I was trying to say. My point was Menma's death is what kind of shattered them.
Right. It was the big thing that drove him apart.
Yeah. Where there might have been a chance where their friend group would have survived if she hadn't died.
Right. Okay. moving on to the next element of the plot, I think would be them kind of discovering that her wish would be to launch this rocket with a message on it. And the whole idea is that Jintan's mom passed away as well around the same time. And they thought Menma's wish, because they looked in her diary, Menma's wish was to launch this rocket with a message for Jintan's mom. And they would launch this rocket, and then once they launch this rocket, everything will be all hunky-dory. Right? Right? Right, guys? That's what'll happen. That's what happens.
Everything
and then
gets
the
better
credits roll.
when yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, through a series of and I really like this part, because like the whole point, the whole like plot of the show, like the meat of the show, is them doing all of this work to get the funds together and doing all of this emotional work to get approval from Menma's grieving family to launch this rocket, because that is Menma's wish, and once the rocket is launched, then Menma will be able to go to heaven. Right? Right, guys?
Wrong.
They launched the rocket, and it was very nice.
That was a nice episode.
Her brother was there.
Also,
He like Jintan invited
also,
her brother.
Also as a part of this, Menma's family was able to kind of
reconcile and kind of
reconcile and become closer.
Yeah.
So her mom finally realized that, oh, I have a nut. I really like that scene where Menma's brother says, I'm going to the launch. And she kneels down in front of him and looks at him, and he's like, you don't even know how tall I am.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Like, you're kneeling in front of me, and I'm
towering
almost
over
as
you.
tall as you are.
Yeah.
I really like that scene. And then she finally realized, oh my God, like I've just been neglecting my son for years because of this.
Yeah, and her husband even says, like, she has not moved on a single day since she died.
Yeah. She's been stuck in that time ever since.
But when they do launch the rocket, I like how they did that scene where they launched the rocket right after her brother shows up, and it's like, oh, nice, he invited his brother. Obviously, the parents didn't show up because they're still grieving, right? You think, and then they launch the rocket, and you're like, oh, that was a nice scene. Menma's getting to hang out with her bro, and blah blah blah. And then as the rocket's launching, they actually cut to the parents sitting in the car watching the rocket, and the mom and dad smile, and they can tell that they're kind of like, okay, that was like we can move on a little bit.
Yeah.
Now.
I like
that.
It was
I like how
how
they kind of like made you think that there was still that conflict there, but then pulled the curtain back and nope, they're there. They're supporting him. They drove the brother there.
I like that one crack at the end where like right before he lights the fuse, Jintan like jumps in, goes wait, because like there's still that side of him that doesn't want her to disappear because he loves her.
Which is important to the next aspect of the show, because after the rocket launches, Menma says something like, "Oh wow," and then they turn around and Jintan sees her just standing there.
Yeah,
and she's not disappearing or anything.
And he's like,
"Oh well."
What? He's like, "What the you still doing here?" Oh, sorry,
Michael.
Mike, that's usually my job.
Yeah. Yo, why are you still here? But no, obviously they're pretty shook up because they're like, wait, that didn't work?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all like, oh, she's still here?
This is where I thought the show really got like super interesting to me. I was like, oh, interesting. Because I was at this point, I was honestly like doubting that her wish would really just be, she'd come back to haunt them more or less just to see a rocket launched.
Well,
which I think we should actually have a discussion at a certain point of what we actually think her wish actually was.
There was a whole, well, we know what her wish was.
I don't think, they never say it explicitly, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Okay, well, so Cole, tell us the next summary, and then we'll discuss that.
Okay, well, the next part is they...
Basically the finale, I'd say.
I mean, they kind of all get back together, and they're like, okay, well, I guess we'll just have to figure out what her wish is. We'll just move on to the next thing. And at this point, they all know that she's real.
Yeah.
Like,
she's writing
we
messages
kind of brushed over that.
Yeah.
She's writing messages to them. Popo is hanging out with her one-on-one, writing messages in the clubhouse.
She can only write she can only write in her diary.
She can only write in her diary in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
because I guess it's magic and they're all there.
It's like their friendship personified kind of thing.
My headcanon
Right.
for that was like it has her like spirit in it, you know what I mean? Like it's her pen, her diary, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Like
Yeah.
there's some of her
Yeah.
in that diary, so like there's a connection there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they all like they're trying to figure it out, and Jintan's kind of like, well, I'm fine with this. Like you can just stay with me forever. And through a series of moments, I'm trying, like we're spoilering it, but I think we're kind of brushing over enough where there's still like we're not touching on everything, so we're like there's still a lot here that's kind of not being discussed, and it's still worth going to watch. But through a series of events, Menma and Jintan finally kind of say like they love each other, and I like that scene where she's like, "Yeah, I love you," and Jintan's like, I mean, like I don't like you, I love you, and she's like, "Yeah, like you want us to get married."
Yeah.
I like that. That was cute.
Yeah. That's like very much how like a 5-year-old would express it. I like that.
And I mean, like,
Yeah.
she kind of is, you know.
Well, she is a 5-year-old.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
a child.
yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Like she
is a
looks
child.
grown up in her in like in her form, because Jintan says like she's grown up now, but like she has the mind of a child.
Yeah. And I don't quite recall how they get to this point, but I simultaneously enjoyed but also didn't enjoy this scene. They all go to that shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Can anyone remind me how they got there?
Let me see if I wrote that down in my notes.
I think they just appeared there, didn't they?
I think they just like
They just
decided to meet
apparated?
up there.
This
To-
whole
to,
show
like,
has
Yeah,
quite
and
a
they
few.
kind of discuss like, well, there's no way we could all figure out what her dream was because none of us want her to really go.
Yeah.
And this was my problem with Popo, because they're all like, they all discuss like the trauma that they have, and like all of them do, and how all of them like each other and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, like this is all like a bit melodramatic, but like understandable for like a bunch of teenagers and like prepubescent kids and the feelings that they had at the time. And then all of a sudden Popo comes up and he's like, well, here's my personal trauma. Like I was thinking like, how are they going to like, what's Popo's drama? And like, I understand that his trauma is pretty like graphic. He was the one who like saw her floating down the river.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Which is pretty graphic, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I just found it contrived that like all of these characters have this trauma. Like all of them have a trauma specifically.
Yeah.
Like not a single one of them doesn't have any trauma in this. And he like all of their trauma is related to their personal relationships. And then it's like, okay, well, how about the one who doesn't have it? Oh, he's the one who like saw her dead.
Yeah. You know what? Like
Like
when I was
it's
watching
just kind of like silly.
when I was watching the show, I kept thinking to myself, okay, they're setting it up because the show, it was, if you've seen a lot of anime or a lot of shows and stuff, you can kind of pretty much guess what's going to happen more or less the entire time of this show.
Mhm.
When that was happening and Popo the whole time I was watching, I was like, oh, okay, Popo's obviously got the worst trauma of them all because he's the happiest, right? That's the trope that always happens. And then when he actually reveals his trauma, I'm like, okay, that's messed up, but that is, I don't know, like
Understandable.
It was underwhelming, I'd say.
Yeah, I do appreciate how, like, okay, you might have saw it coming, Michael. I didn't necessarily. That's maybe why I found it kind of, I don't want to say funny, but contrived.
Yeah.
I would like to go back and rewatch it because I do recall scenes where Popo is like kind of almost pleading with himself while talking to like the heir that he thinks is Menma.
Yeah, no, there's the scene where he's
like,
talking
oh,
to Menma and he's like starting to cry because he's like she's not responding to him, and then Jintan's like, stop it.
Yeah, stop it. Like she's upset.
So
like he's kind of just like talking to the room, like, oh, come on, like, oh, like let's figure this out.
But it was clearly
and
hurting
he's, like,
her
getting
because
upset.
he couldn't see her and he wasn't talking to her. He was just talking to the air.
I really like
Mhm.
that scene at the shrine, personally, and it's not because like of what actually happened, and I don't like, to me, their own personal traumas didn't really matter as much, because what really mattered to me was throughout all of this, them trying to solve grant her wish was kind of like their own personal like desire to absolve themselves from the guilt that they have. And it's this scene where they finally like open up to each other and they finally tell each other how they've been feeling, and it's the first time where like they actually are friends again, because like it like, because they were doing it selfishly in the beginning, they were more, like there was still a crack in the group. It was like they weren't yet friends.
That's kind of why I was saying earlier that I don't think her wish truly was like to see Jintan cry. I think really what actually set her free was when they all came back together as a friend. She wanted her friends to be friends again.
So,
well, there is that scene beforehand where she's like praying to Jintan's mother's shrine there in the house, and she looks at her hand and she's like, "Oh, like just hold on, it'll almost be time." So like her wish has already been granted by that point, and that happens before all of this drama happens.
Yeah.
So like her wish has already been granted and she's just clinging to life.
Oh, that's a good
because
point.
yeah, because she wants to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
And I liked
Like,
at the end when she broke down too, and she was like, I wish I could stay and hang out with you guys, but I have to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like she kind of finally
sad
broke down, right?
Yeah.
But I do like the end of that shrine scene because they all kind of start laughing, and that, I don't know, that felt like real life to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Because her eyelash falls
you know,
off.
everybody's crying, and then somebody says like, "Oh, you've got 2 eyelashes."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, like that feels like real life. Like that feels
Yeah.
like something that would happen.
Yeah.
And everybody would start laughing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Jintan comes home and he's like, "Okay, we're ready to finally figure this out." And Menma is like laying on the ground, like, see, and that's the thing, like, he comes home fresh from this and she has no idea what's happening, and she's like paralyzed.
Yeah, like
she can't move
she's
because
falling
she's clinging to life. Yeah.
Because like,
And this was the part that had the fantastic animation for me. Where she's like laying on the ground and he's like holding her, and her hand comes up and like caresses his face. Oh, like something about like realistic hand animations in an anime just like get me going.
That's my
Yikes.
jive, y'all.
That's my thing.
furries and
Like,
hands.
Jay?
That's
no,
that's
I don't
my
know.
weekly
Yeah.
mention of that. Anyway.
Yeah, it was. The final episode's pretty good. I don't know what else I have to say
Yeah.
about it really.
So then he's like, "Okay, we all got to go back to the clubhouse and figure all this out." So he takes her on his back and runs to the clubhouse. And then wouldn't you know it, he gets to the clubhouse, puts her down, and then he turns around and he can't see her anymore.
I thought for sure she was gonna be just like completely gone at that point. I thought that was how it was gonna end. It was like she gets there, she's gone, and I'm like, oh,
I didn't know for sure,
because they didn't
but I
show
kind
her
of figured
until then, right?
I kind of figured everybody would see her.
Yeah.
So I was like, I knew something would happen.
I always had this like sinking feeling like by the end they were all going to see her.
Sinking feeling. Okay, I think you and I have very differing opinions.
Why? Just curious. Why would you be sad that they would all see her?
Okay.
Let's get to that.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's get to that. So they can still he can still hear her.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, we got to go find her." So they're all like running through the bush like, "Oh, Menma, where are you, Menma?" And she's like sitting at a tree and the sun's coming up, and you know, it's all picturesque and stuff. You can picture it, right? And they all run up to her, and he's like, "Oh, she's here around here somewhere. I can hear her." And then they're all talking, and then Anju finally says, "There she is. I can see her." And then that was the point where I'm like, okay, now I'm getting misty-eyed.
Yeah.
This is the one point where they could all see her.
Yeah.
And then they all say goodbye, and then the letters.
The letters. Yep.
Yeah.
I was waiting
Sorry,
for that moment.
she leaves them all notes because she doesn't realize that she's gonna see them all before she goes. I like them all, and she says that I love blank about you.
Yeah.
So she loves everybody. And then for what's his name?
Jintan?
The main character. Jintan's, it says, "I love you."
It's the kind of love that makes me want to marry you.
Yeah, something like that. Very cute. Very cute. And then they're all reading them, and then Anju says, "Oh, I can see Menma. There she is." And then they can all see her at this tree.
Menma, we found
and then,
you.
Yeah, well, no, hold on. Then she's like, "Okay, well, like, you know, we're all playing hide and seek. You have to say what it is so that we can finish the game." not before saying like, oh, I want to stay, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
and then Jintan's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, we found you, and then you found me, and then that's the end of the show, and then prologue, blah blah blah. Who cares? They're all friends. Okay, so now we can say this show is always held up as one of the saddest shows. I think Mike and I are kind of on the same page. Jay, are you sad when you watch this show?
I'm more like when my tears come, they're more of like happy tears.
Okay. So we're on the same page then.
Yeah.
It's not
'Cause
it's sad
people
in
always-
the way that like it's about like
It's about
loss
grief
and grieving,
Yeah.
but the show itself ends on a like at worst melancholic note, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it's
I would
kind of
say-
happy at times.
I would say that it's, in terms of the friend group specifically, it ends on a happy note.
Yeah.
Because they get what a lot of people don't get. They get a proper goodbye with this person that they love, right? If none of this had ever happened, she would have just died, and that would have been it. If it was real life, she would have died in that accident, and that's it.
Mhm.
But they all get an opportunity to each receive a letter from her specifically, and then they all get an opportunity to say goodbye to her.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a very uplifting
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She moves on, they move on. They're all sad because they're accepting their loss and moving on, but the future is brighter for it, right? So
Mhm.
that's a happy thing,
Mhm.
even if it's sad at the same time.
And like it ends.
yeah.
Jintan's going to school now. Like
Yeah. Jintan's going to school and getting beaten up by Anju's friends.
Yeah. And
as
Oh,
everything
and-
should be.
And Glasses Girl gets her hair cut short.
which Cole,
she becomes
Cole, did
a
you-
short-haired
did you,
queen.
Like, fist bump at that point where you just like, yes.
I started cheering
Yeah.
because she went short
That was
hair.
your favorite
I had a
moment of the
feeling.
show.
Yeah.
Short hair? Okay, honestly, guys, short hair, glasses, blue eyes, man.
Second place,
Man.
you know?
No, yeah, no, I do like Anju more, but yeah, no, she's good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, say
The show isn't
Sarah
the type of
behind me,
show
man.
where you go best girl. Yeah. This isn't a best girl type of
No.
show.
There's like
no.
To me.
literally
No.
basically 3, right? But I think this is probably a good point for us to give our ending thoughts and ratings on the show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anything you guys want to say? I guess we kind of already did say the ending thoughts, eh? Basically, I agree with you, Cole.
Good show.
It's good show. It is not as sad as people make it out to be.
I'd say like
Uh-huh.
instead of like it's a sad show, I think just saying it's a tearjerker is the best is a better way to put it.
or just it's an incredibly emotional and
Yeah.
raw show.
yeah.
I still, like, in terms of, like, pure sadness, like, I still got to give it up to episode 9 of Violet Evergarden to
Yeah.
me. But this one was, like, I only had one moment where I was, like, misty-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that moment was strong. Like, I would say the show itself was probably, like, honestly, like a 6.5 in terms of sadness. But that one moment was maybe a 9.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Honest, like I said, it's not as sad as people make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if that's what's holding you back from watching it, you're fine.
Yeah.
Just watch it.
That's
Yeah,
not to
pretty
say
much
it's not
just
good.
The final episode. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good, and
yeah.
it's not like crushingly.
You're not going to be depressed
depressing.
once you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. What's your score out of 10 for this show? We'll start with Jay, and if you want to give your thoughts on why you rated it that.
My score out of 10 is a binge it please out of 10. I'm not really keen to giving numerical ratings in like critical reviews. So I'm going to break the list and say go binge it because it's really good and it's short. And it's just like a great it's a great character drama about seeing friends who were traumatized get back together and reconcile over
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
I thought that the characters were really great. The story was good. And it has a great OP. I'd say like it all comes together at the end, and it's just it's a really good package.
It's a good package.
Very good
Michael,
package.
what's your rating?
My rating, so I rated it on my Annie list, which is how I do it. I rate things on story, visuals, characters, and enjoyment out of 10, and then it takes the average of it. Story, I went 7, just because I felt like It was
What?
it was a good story, but like a lot of the times things just like didn't ring true for me or didn't feel like something that would really happen. Visuals, I went
Okay.
8. It was close to putting this at 8.5. It's animated really well, but like it kind of doesn't really have like that wow factor.
It never has
really.
any Sakuga moments. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's nothing really to kind of like. It's just very good. Characters
Right.
8.5. Again, kind of the same thing as the story. There's just a lot of like they're good characters. They're all memorable. It has obviously the 12 episode anime problem that I have where I can never remember anybody's names. But like
That's every anime for me.
Yeah.
short
the
ones
same.
that you binge, like you can never remember the names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went 8.5 because like just they're good characters, they're all memorable, they're all unique, the designs are good, but like sometimes they just don't act like I think they really would, and like they're kind of a little too unrealistic at times. And then enjoyment I went 9 for, and then that gives me an overall score of 8.1 out of 10. Cole, what did you think?
Oh, Michael and I are very similar in the sense that we both rate them on the exact same criteria.
Probably because I helped you set yours up.
Yeah. So I'll start with the lowest rating and then I'll work my way up.
Okay.
So visuals would be my lowest. I gave it an 8.5. Probably would have been an 8, except for dem hands in that one scene.
You're like the lawyer from Arrested Development, just loves hands.
Next up, I'll go characters. I gave it a 9. I really enjoyed the characters. Yeah, I don't know. The good characters. It's a character drama, so I mean the characters should be strong, right?
Yeah.
Story, I also gave a 9. I enjoyed the story of it. It took me for some twists, even though I kind of knew the general plot of the story. It genuinely threw me for a loop at the end of episode 10, where the rocket didn't turn out to be her wish, or episode 11, or episode 9, whichever episode that was.
Yeah, it was episode 10 because I remember starting the episode, and then when the rocket actually happened, I was like, oh, weird. Like, they have a full episode. I wonder what they're going to do for the next one.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was only 10 episodes.
Oh,
so I'm like,
there you
okay, this is how it ends.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't disappear, and I'm like, oh, there's another episode. Next up would be enjoyment for me. I gave it a 9. Kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the show. Acting for me was the strong suit. I thought the voice acting was very good. Which, for me, like, an emotional show where the characters have to, like, cry and yell and scream, I'm always going to give them the credit, because...
yeah, you got to act more, right?
Yeah, they're acting. So that gave me average score of 9.
Average
9 out of 10.
Score at a 9 out of 10. Now, Jay, I will tell you, I was planning on actually keeping a record of our scores. Sure you don't want to assign a numerical value to this?
Nah.
Okay.
Like I
you don't have to.
So I guess I can. But I'm gonna preface this, and because you guys went off your Annie lists, I'm going to give a bit of a disclaimer. The way I score things on AniList is I do it based off of enjoyment with no real critical value, which is and that goes and coincides with the idea that I don't really like giving things numerical values, because I'm not really one to boil everything I feel about a show down to like a number.
Yeah. I would say that even just enjoyment on its own is critical, right? Like, that is a critical value, is how much you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's just like a subjective opinion rather than an objective one.
Jay, nobody's gonna judge you. Just give it a
but
score.
The score I gave on my Annie list is a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. There we go.
A 10 out of 10? I am judging you.
For what?
No, I'm just.
This
kidding.
is a judgment-free zone, Coleus.
This is that was, like I said, that was a subjective opinion.
Yeah. So with a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, and an 8.1 out of 10, that means that the Anime Protagonist podcast considers this show to be a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
I think that
fair. Sounds about right.
I think that's pretty much exactly right. But even though mine's quite a bit lower than that, the average.
Well, I
score
mean,
on
it's the
AniList
average.
is
One of us
80-ish.
is going to have a low score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
I think as a kind of to take away from what we're saying about the show is it's good. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Go watch it. Like
It's
I said
short.
earlier,
It's short.
binge
Definitely
it.
worth a binge.
Yeah, it's 11
all-
episodes. Like, it's not even that long.
Yeah.
And you can go watch
We
it on
all-
Netflix
Yep.
if you haven't canceled it yet.
True. And with that, I think that we should mention where people can find us.
I'll start because I always start.
Yes,
It's me
I was,
first.
I was waiting for
Yeah.
you to start.
Yeah, we go alphabetically.
Yes.
You can follow me on, what is that microblogging site called?
I think it's
Twitter.
MySpace.
I thought it was called
I
Musk's blog.
You can follow me on our Lord and Savior Elon Musk's microblogging site at AniProCole. That's AniProcole. Jay, what's your Twitter?
You can follow me at JGaredian, JayGareDian. And Mike, where can they find you?
You can find me at Gritty Gundam on Twitter, GrittyGundam. And if you want to follow the AniPro Twitter, please do that. It's at AniProPod, AniPropod on Twitter. If you could drop a like, a review, or a subscription on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this, that would really help out the podcast. If you can tell a friend, that would help out the podcast even more because we need to grow. And we love interacting with you guys, and we love having more people to hear us rant and rave about anime that we love. So please do so. It helps us grow. It really means a lot. If you leave a review, we might even read your review on the podcast. We'll see.
Possibly.
Yeah, might.
If it's a nice review.
Cole can't take the heat. I can take the heat.
And if you have any questions,
I'll take my
comments,
headphones
or
off if
anything
there's
to,
anything negative
to leave for us, you can also leave us a mailbag anywhere, from our Discord to our Twitter. Speaking of Discord, you can go join our Discord. Mike, take it away.
I think you
Join our Discord.
join our Discord. I think we said it all.
Nothing to take away here.
Yeah. Take it away here. We have nothing left to say.
Next week.
You can find our link to our Discord in the link tree, or you can go to anchor.fm/anime-protagonist-podcast. That's a good way to find us find what we're available on. Or check everything out.
Make sure you spell protagonist correctly.
Yes.
Yes.
And Jay, you were about to say what next time on AniPro Pod.
Next time on AniPro Pod, aside from my birthday, it is our mid-season check-in. So join us back
That's
next
right.
week where we will be talking about all the shows we're watching this season. What should you watch? What should you avoid?
And maybe if you want to, because we're going to be talking about that next season, maybe send us a tweet or a mailbag or something like that about what you're watching this season.
Yeah, and your thoughts on it too.
Yeah. But, of course, we reach the end of our episode here. And until next week, we say, as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.